Hello, hello, hello. It's time to get into a higher mind. The idea of being alone. It's time to get out of the lower level thinking of what alone is. In the, I would call it 3D reality or whatever, amongst the lower consciousness, being alone is to be without an actual person with you. You know, like having a mate, okay? And that is considered being alone. Because I notice when people say be alone, they're not necessarily talking about a person who is, they're only talking about relationships when I hear people talk about it. You can have people who are family oriented and always around their family members and have a lot of friends and they're always around people, but they're considered to be alone if they don't have anybody. And it's time to get out of seeing that as being alone, because what it is that people feel alone is because they're not complete. This has been, people have been fragmented in this particular world. People are fragmented. And so this concept of constantly looking for somebody else and constantly, oh, I need somebody. Now, it's nothing wrong with being complete within yourself, and then you meet the right person that's different, but you're already complete and you don't need them to complete you. So if you complete, how are you alone? So it's time to get into a higher mind of thinking of what alone is. And because some people don't care if they ever connect with their soul ever again. Some people don't care if they don't even have a spirit, as long as they are with something that looks like another person, and they think that they're with somebody, and they say at least they're not alone. At least they have somebody, but they might not be any longer connected to their soul or spirit or anything. See, that's lonely right there. When you're not connected to your soul, that's lonely. That's the real alone right there. When you're incomplete, that's alone because you're not complete. But nobody else is going to be able to complete you. You have to be willing to accept who you are. Nobody's going to be able to do it. They can give you all kinds of encouragement. Nothing wrong with that. But it's up to you to accept yourself. You have to do it. But yeah, this idea of being alone, people are still going to think that way, but I'm just saying it's time to rise up out of that lower mind state, that lower mental state of being, the being alone, or you have to be with somebody. But then the person that you're with are no good for you, and the person that you're with is going to drag you down even further, down the tunnel. It's a tunnel, dragging you further down the rabbit hole, just so you can say that you have somebody, but you completely lost yourself. Okay? There's a lot of people who say they are married and they still feel like they're by themselves, because that's not what it's about. And yeah, I'm done with this level of consciousness. Because that level of consciousness, that old world, you constantly have to be with somebody. It's like you have to have children when you're not ready to have children. You have to be with somebody. You have a lot of fragmented people who was never encouraged to work on themselves, who was never encouraged to work on complete self-love or complete self-acceptance. They're always trying to figure out how to get somebody, how to get a man or how to get a woman, all these things to do to get somebody else, but you're never after getting yourself. Still incomplete within yourself, because that's never the message. That is rarely the message. Those kind of messages are never popular, ever. I've seen many people talk about it. Those kind of messages are never ever popular, and people are just stay fragmented. Okay. Um, I just want to talk about that because being alone. What is being alone? You alone when you're not connected to who you truly are. That's alone. Not being with the opposite with somebody else, or being without somebody else. You know. Um, but anyways, not to talk against relationships and being with somebody, but it just seems like in that particular world that I just decided I don't want to be a part of. It doesn't work out because everybody's fragmented. Nobody is talking about completeness. It's just a bunch of stuff that just unproductive. I don't want to be a part of that world. I'll never marry anybody in that world. I'll never be with. Not that I'm trying to get married, but I just can't have friends in that world. I certainly won't have a mate in that world because everything is low consciousness. Everybody's incomplete, but they want somebody. They want a husband. They want a wife, and all this stuff. Never working on themselves. Just constantly, let's get married. When are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? Well, how are you going to get? People should not be encouraged to do that when they still fragmented. And there's a lot of fragmented people that still have children. If you are, if a person got pregnant, I would expect them to get rid of it. But I'm saying, when you start to know better, like I do now, then I wouldn't rush into things because society expects you to do things. Because the society that I was a part of, is very, very low in consciousness and they're fragmented. Okay, they're not wise. That society is not wise. That society is very infiltratable, and that society is very controllable. Okay, that's not a society that I want to be a part of. Anyway, that is it, and I'll talk to you later.